So as I written here, it is not safe. So therefore now we have to again go to the steel table, and there we have to choose higher section. Like earlier we have chosen ISMC 250. Now, sorry, 250. So now what we can do is we can choose the higher section, say ISMC 300. So now again I have written or already written here that our this section is filled. Now we are going to take this one, ISMC 300. Maybe it will be okay. It can carry this much load, but again we have to follow the same process again. We have chosen this value, and again we will write all the values respective to the this section. So relevant properties are now here. In this case, the cross-sectional dimension is 4164. This is for one channel section. Now AE will be 2 times of this value, which is the total cross-sectional area of the 2 channel section. So area provided in this case will be 9128, and it is again more than the area which we have which were required, which was 6666.67. So it is again more than this. That is okay. And again we have write down all the values which are relevant to this section. RYY value and RZZ value is changed. Earlier it was around 98. In this case the value is changed, and the same process we will follow here. Again we will find out the lambda value of this section. This time RZZ value will be this one. Earlier we have used 98. This time we are going to use 118. So putting all the values, we will find out lambda as 88.91. Again finding the FCD value. Sorry, as per this clause, we will increase this value by 1.05. So again, multiplying the same value with 1.05, we get 93.35, which is again less than 180, which is safe. Now for this effective slenderness ratio and Fy value and buckling class C, again we will find out the FCD value. So finding the FCD value, it will be 116 megapascal. And now we are going to take, we are going to find out the load carrying capacity of this second angle, second section, which is 9128. So this is the new area, and this is the new value of FCD. And now the load carrying capacity is 1061. So here you can see this is 1061, which is more than the required one. So which means we can say that ISMC 300, 2 sections, I'm writing here two ISMC 300, they are sufficient and they can carry the required load. So I have written that this section will be safe. Now the thing which are left, we can say here that now we have chosen these 2 channel section, but we have to find out what will be the distance between them, so that RYY will be equals to RZZ. So this we will see in the next slide. So as I said, we will find out the spacing. So again, I will be showing you. Sorry, this is the arrangement of our angle of our channel section. It will look like this. And here also, the second channel section, it will look like something like this. So the whole assembly, if we look at both section as a single section, then the whole assembly will be having CG in between them here. So about this CG, this axis we are calling this as Z axis, and about this axis we are calling this axis as Y axis, and about this Y axis we are going to find out this distance. So I am writing this distance as S. Okay, now CG of individual channel section will lie something here, somewhere here. Okay, so this will be exactly in line to this CG. So the CG of the combined section and CG of the individual channel section, they will be in the same line along z axis. Okay, so they will be in the same line along the z axis, which means the whole assembly is symmetric about the z axis. It is symmetric about y axis also, but it will be symmetric only when we are able to find out this s value. Okay, now z axis of individual channel section and z axis of the whole assembly, they are on the same line, but y axis of individual channel section, it will be here, it will pass like this. I'm writing this as small y. Similarly, y axis of this right hand side channel section, it will be on here, y axis, this one. Okay, so now you can see the difference that individual z axis and common z axis, they are on the same line, but individual y axis and common y axis, they are not on the same line, which means they are not coinciding. So now what we have to do is we have to find out this s value. Now how do we find out that? As I said, r yy of the whole assembly should be equals to rzz. So the whole assembly, the value of rzz of the whole assembly should be equals to the ryy value of the whole assembly. So ryy is equals to, again I'm writing here, iyy about, sorry, iyy upon area of cross section, total cross sectional area. Similarly, in this case, izz upon 2a. So this will cancel out, both of them cancel out, and only thing which is left here, it is iyy should be equals to izz. So we will equate both of them and then we will write the equation. So as you can see here, z axis is common for individual channel section and for the whole assembly. So that is why I can write izz value directly as 2 multiplied by izz of single channel section, and iyy value, as you can see, individual channel section y axis and y axis of the whole assembly, it is not on the same line. So that is why I have to find out this by using parallel axis theorem. So I have already explained this parallel axis theorem in the previous lecture in the second example. So you can refer to that to understand about it. So parallel axis theorem I will be applying here. And parallel axis theorem will be, it will be written as iyy plus area of cross section multiplied by h square. So what will be the h? So there you can see I am trying to find out moment of inertia about this iyy. Now moment of inertia of single channel section about yy, it is already given here in the steel table. You can see here this iyy, there you can see this iyy value is for the individual channel section, but I am going to find out I capital YY. Okay, so now again see here, so this small y and capital Y, so basically I'm writing here this as capital Y. So I'm trying to find out moment of inertia about capital YY. So this will be Iyy of single section multiplied by area of cross section of single section multiplied by h distance. So h distance is this one. So the same, so this is the h value. Now h value is basically the sum of, now I'm writing here, this h value is actually equals to the s by 2 plus cyy. Now what is cyy and how I have calculated this s by 2? You can see here this value is s, and this y-axis is passing half of this value. So this value will be s by 2. Now we have to find out this value, and this value is called CYY. So this CYY value we can find out from the steel table. So I have already noted down that value. You can see here the CYY value. We can find out this from the steel table. CYY value is 23.6. So now you can see s by 2 value is here. So I can write here, this is for the single channel section, but you can see here we have another channel section also, and both of them are of same property and at a same distance. So I am simply multiplying this by 2. So ultimately what we are going to do is, now we are going to equate IYY and IZZ. So IYY value will be 2 multiplied by IYY plus area of cross section of one channel section multiplied by H, and H value is S by 2 minus CYY value will be 21.6 square. So we will equate this with the 2 multiplied by IZZ. So this IZZ value is already given in the steel table. So I am again showing you that value. There you can see IZZ value is given here also. So both IZZ and IYY value we are going to use. So the same formula that I have explained you here, it will be similar that I have already written. So this is the equation how I am arrived at. And putting all the values, you can see here, we know IZZ, IYY, area of cross section of one channel section, and CYY. The only thing which is unknown here is S. So this S value can be calculated from this equation, and after calculation, S value will be this one, 183.1 mm. So if we place our channel section, this channel section, if we place them at 183.1 mm distance, then we will have RYY and RZZ equal, which means we will be able to use them more efficiently when we place them at this distance. So this is what we are supposed to find out in this. And now I have a round off this value to 184. So if we are rounding off, we will round off it on the higher side. So now our channel section will look like this. So ultimately our channel section will put at 184 mm distance to have radius of gyration about both axes equal. So that is the solution of this channel section, in which we were supposed to find out the spacing, and we are supposed to design the channel section. So we will continue this example in next stage also, but this is the solution for the initial purpose. Now first we will learn the lacing system, and then we will solve this example further. Thank you.